I'm not hearing anything. Oh, see?
And we're here. Look at that.
It worked?
Yeah.
I'm still not seeing us on the screen on the YouTube channel.
We can wait a couple seconds for you to see it, and then you can move on about the delay and everything.
It's just the delay's killing me every time.
Well, that's technology.
Anyways, how's your coffee?
Did it update? Please tell me it updated.
It didn't.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you. I added more of a delay, actually.
Great. It's been a minute, and there's nothing going on. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's such long delay. Anyways, hey guys.
I added more of a delay because you know how last time you were saying it was buffering because of your internet connection?
Right.
Google has a system where it adds a slightly more delay to it to lower that buffering for users. It basically gives you a choice. Do you want to be able to have less delay and more of an interaction with your chat room, or more of a delay and less buffering for your chat room?
Cool.
So I added a tiny bit of more delay, so it's less buffering for people.
I see what you mean. That's pretty cool. It gives you that option.
Yeah. Hey,
how's your coffee? Yeah. How's your coffee?
It's cold now because I got it. This is from like 9 a.m.
That's cool. I like this Sunday morning coffee sessions.
Yeah, but next one we can do the next one as early as like Wednesday and stuff.
Yeah. If I mean I'm working, but in the afternoon then.
Yeah, of course, because I'm working too, man. Like,
oh, you are?
Yeah. I have
What do you do? I'm
a senior analyst.
That sounds very fancy.
It's not.
Are you saying that most people who have that job status, senior analyst, it's not that fancy of a job?
Definitely. Especially if you know the companies just add that title and they don't even know what it means. Like we had a meeting with one of our higher ups, like mid-level executive, not high level, but mid-level. And he was like, maybe we hired too many senior analysts. Maybe it shouldn't have been seniors.
But what do you do as a senior analyst? What do you do with your days at work?
I don't want to say too much, but basically I onboard and implement client services. So like complex needs that clients have, financial needs, I implement those services and then train them on it.
What do you mean implement those services?
Meaning set it up and make it go live for the client.
Live?
Yeah, basically meaning we do the setup, we do the testing of that service, whatever that service is, and then we push it live. Basically,
are these like by service? I mean those people are business owners trying out to offer a new service to people?
No. It's business owners. I offer the back-end financial services for businesses to manage their cash flow and their income. So anything from collections, payables, risk, fraud protection, all those services is what I do.
I'm confused.
I was going to say you look confused.
Yeah, it's all
basically how businesses pay their vendors and how businesses get paid and what they do with that money once they get paid is what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. So we have, for anybody that just joined, and I know that you didn't, but if you're playing this now later on, if I don't get lazy, what I'm going to do is as we talk about each topic, I'm going to put the timer in the description below. So if you can scroll through the topics. If any of them interest you, just go to that time. And if not, have fun sticking around for a little bit.
I like it.
Right.
So I went to California last week.
Yes, you did. Why did you even go to California?
I had to drop a friend off at the LAX, and I needed a break from work.
Hold on. What? You dropped somebody off at the airport in a different city?
Yeah, we made it a road trip. Like we rented a car and went there, and then he had to take a flight to Moscow, and I took a flight back to Phoenix.
Okay.
So we ended up going to the Griffith Observatory.
Okay.
And I didn't even know this thing existed. Pretty cool. A lot of people, but like it's the mountain that has the Hollywood sign on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much right next to it.
Yeah, right. You know why I know that? Because I played GTA 5.
Oh, that's right. Ed was telling me that GTA 5 is kind of has that whole mountain pretty much on there.
Right.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So as we're driving up the mountain to find parking to go to the observatory, you could see how dry everything got. It looks almost like a desert up there now on the mountain, which we've all seen picture of it being like very green and luscious, like Beverly Hills status. There's like dead palm trees everywhere. There's dead trees everywhere. It's all dry. There's like dust and dirt on the road. It's like bad. You can really see that there's a big bad drought going on there.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. So that drought actually impacts LA and all the nice green parts of it too.
It's crazy. I was like surprised. I was like, oh wow, this is like, I knew it was real, but then seeing that mountain that's usually very green, it's like brown and yellow.
Dude, that's awful.
Yeah,
it
it's
really
pretty
is
bad.
awful. But didn't they get a whole bunch of rain? I know it didn't fix the drought, but didn't they get a whole bunch of rain that should make things slightly better?
I don't know. They have fires going. Oh, as we're getting to LA the first night, we saw this like red glow in the back.
Right.
And that was one of the fires going on there.
That's
Pretty cool.
actually, I was gonna say the visuals of it must have been amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen. I mean, it sucks for all the people who haven't been evacuated, but that sucks. So we get to the observatory and it's awesome. It's like a museum / discovery center, and it's really cool. It's. I mean, I knew most of these things they talk about. It's. I feel like it's mainly for kids.
Right.
And it's set up in such a way that it's really interactive. So you could see kids there that are like, oh wow, they're like having their minds blown, and then some other kids are just like, this is whatever.
So wait, it's because it's an observatory, that means it has a telescope in it, right?
Yeah, it does.
So did you get to use a telescope?
Well, there's like 2 or 3. There's like a small telescope. I don't know if I think the big one works. Pretty sure it works.
Okay.
There's a small one that's like very old, and like you can peek through a window to see how it looks like inside. And then you're just reminded that there's people who like dedicated their lives because they're fascinated at what's out there in the sky. It's amazing machinery, man, considering it's like, really, really old. And then the big one, there was like a part of, it's like an extra, you have to pay for this extra tour of the actual big dome-like structure that holds the telescope with a roof that opens and you can move it around and stuff. But they had a small replica of it with buttons in front of it that you can see what they're able to do with it.
Okay, that's a brilliant move for them to have something interactive for the kids and for actual people, like just regular people.
Yeah, and then they had a bunch of stuff explaining like the elements and the sun, and they had like different what's the word? Different like videos of the sun at different infrared stuff and different colors. And you can just see how crazy just the flames coming out of these things are like, 1,000 times bigger than Earth.
Dude, I used to, one of the things I used to do is just literally spend hours watching those videos of the sun. Because there's different people that record those and just publish them to YouTube.
Yeah.
So one of the things you can do is simply watch them. And there's blue video, which I don't know what that means. What that is. There's a red one, because I think the red is infrared. I think it's infrared.
There's a green one. And there's all kinds of ones, man. They have like a whole small room dedicated to that.
So when you're watching it, if it's the whole sun, like if you see the round shape of the sun, does it have a black center? Because all the ones I've seen, there's a black center, meaning to get the exposure right, they actually block out the sun and they get everything around the sun, not the sun itself. But the ones inside that have the sun,
the ones I saw was like the whole sun. It was not covered.
Okay,
but
that's
they
really
use
cool,
such filters that you can see like flames and things moving on top of it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and it's pretty much like something that's burning, and like the center obviously is burning really, really hot. Everything is really hot, but like it's like you can't even imagine how hot it is. And then they have these particles. I think they're gamma rays and stuff that are taking like hundreds of years to go from the center out of the sun. Thousands of years. Like they make their way through the sun to get out. And that's what UV is and shit. I think. Oh
Okay.
I said a bad word. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll put a little thing that we say bad words in here. But wait, hold on. So if it takes hundreds of years for it to come out, but doesn't it only take minutes for it to get to Earth once it leaves the sun?
I honestly don't know. That kind of details I don't know. I might be wrong about being gamma rays. I'm pretty sure they are. But again, through space, there's no friction. Maybe they get there faster.
Maybe. And if it's traveling at the speed of light,
Yeah.
once it's become a light source of any kind, then it makes sense. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it becomes light at a certain point.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh man.
Stay on space, by the way. You heard about this like planet they found on the really close solar system, right?
Oh, I was going to tell you that they found another planet within our own solar system. But yeah, I heard about that one too.
Oh, they found one within our own solar system?
Yeah, basically
Must be way past Pluto.
Right. That's what it is. And they're finding out that the whole idea that you and I grew up saying that there was only 9 planets or 8 planets, definitely not true. There's a bunch of them. They're just way out there.
And but it's crazy that the sun is still like having this orbital influence on.
Right.
On,
Well, that's one of the fascinating things is once you figure out how the orbits started.
yeah.
Because the orbit started because of the things that were happening when the universe was first created and our solar system was first created.
Yeah.
But now that it's been billions and billions of years, it is the Earth, it is the sun's gravitational pull and everything else within space that's actually making the orbits continue being what it is. Because if it wasn't for that, this planet would have eventually, just moved on.
Yeah.
To other
It's
things.
like it's just it's an explosion that's happening right now, and like you got these things going around with the mass attracting. It's it's fascinating to say the least. And
Have I told you that space is one of my all-time fears? Like I have nightmares about space all the time.
I know. Why?
Because planets can collide. Like just that knowing by itself.
Yeah. But then the way I know, and I think a lot of people who understand these things like have that fear. But and things like that do happen, and Earth might collide with some other planet eventually, but our span of life is so insignificantly small that it's like the chances of us seeing that is like completely impossible.
Right. Just recently I found out that because for the longest time people thought black holes, we know how black holes are created from a star dying. Only a certain type of star, when it dies and how it dies, it creates a black hole. So the problem is everybody thought, here's a solar system, whatever it is, right in the center of it, at the most, could be a black hole. Like in the galaxies, depending on how massive they are, they could have a massive black hole right in the middle of it. But that's about it. And then a couple years ago, somebody released a study that said black holes they don't have to be stationary objects. There are black holes that are moving around the universe. Dude.
But does that mean they're moving around because they're actually moving around another bigger object that has more mass than them, and so gravity?
Right. Well, it could be it's something that had a more of a mass than them, or depending on how they were created, they were propelled, meaning as part of the creation of the black hole, it was being propelled out. So it's just going to continue moving in that direction.
Oh, you mean it's like it was just like pushed out violently and it's still moving out there?
Right. So any one of those, since we can't see them, could be coming our way. I'm just saying.
That's actually right, because speed and all that. There's things that are really fast and things that are really slow, like our solar system, and maybe our tools are not able to. And that's scary. That was a sound too.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something coming so fast we won't even see it coming. It's like billions of miles away, and then next second it's gonna hit us and we're done.
It's just terrifying.
I didn't mean to make your fear even worse, but yes, it is possible after all.
So what do you know about this new planet?
Nothing.
The one that's close to us, and it's Earth-like.
I don't want to say anything wrong, but I just heard it on NPR the other day, and that it's really close. It's like a few light years away. It's in the solar system that's not far at all from us. It might be like, I think I might have heard that it's in the solar system that's the closest to us, actually. So like you take the closest star, sun-like star out there, and it's orbiting that star.
Okay. So
which is cool.
And one of the headlines that I read about it is that it's a live, what do you call it? It could be a live geological planet, meaning that the actual crust of it is still forming, just like Earth is. And dude, once you realize the difference between a live geological surface and a dead geological surface, it explains why so many of the planets within our own solar system are just completely boring on the surface, because they're dead. The surface is no longer being formed. Ours is the surface, and the mountains are being formed.
Is this surface being formed as a result of what's going on in the core? Because does that also mean that their core is dead too, and now they're just like a big rock floating?
Well, I think it depends on what kind of planets they are, because the gas planets, the cores. I mean, there's theories, but they were saying that the cores could be anything else. Some of them have solid cores that we would never know. Some of them do have solid cores, but the ones that are the rocky planets, the closer ones to the sun, the cores, some of them are dead, some of them are not dead, and that's simply because of the way they were formed and how close they are to the sun, is that their cores could never eventually die because of the energy that they continuously get from the sun. Or the ones that are further out, they are dead. Like, one of the theories is that Mars, I think it's not dead, but it is close. By close, I mean a few billion years away from becoming a completely dead planet. Where Earth is still, what they say, is in the young generations, where it's hundreds of billions of years from being dead. So,
you know the movie Sunshine?
Love that movie. Yes,
I know, I love that movie. I'm trying to get all my friends to watch that. So, what is... Okay, the planet that they see that's going in front of the sun and they're like all excited about it, it's Mercury, right?
Right. It's one of the most amazing shots ever. It's Mercury.
For some reason, I thought Mars was closer to the sun than Earth was. All right. Well, I learned that at the observatory. And the reason I guess I was thinking that way is because, like, I thought Mars was just like too close to the sun and it just didn't survive as long and it just got burnt out. But if it's behind us, that means that makes no logical sense, right? So the fact that I thought Mars Mars was like Earth, and then it just got too hot out there because it's closer to the sun. But I was wrong, because Mars is behind us. I mean, it's further from the sun than Earth is. So I was like, that was the one big thing I just kind of realized, and then I felt like a dummy.
Well, that's okay, because most of the time in schools they don't talk about why Mars is red. I don't even know why Mars is red. I just know it's because of the rocks that are on it, not because of the heat or anything.
I don't know. But doesn't that Earth is closer to the sun than Mars is. Mars is really hot. So literally the
Mars
Earth
is really cold. Mars is not really hot. Mars is really cold.
Oh, that's right. Because in the Martian, when the thing breaks, all the plants die from freezing. Ah, interesting.
Mars is ridiculously cold, yeah.
That's crazy. I completely did not... My understanding of Mars was completely wrong.
But you know what? Now I have to... It's sad that I don't know this, because I need to know... solar planets, because I want to know. I think Mercury or Venus, one of them, we have sent drones to the surface, and it looks like a cold planet, but I know it's not, because it's going to be ridiculously hot
because it's closer.
Right.
Is someone cooking eggs next to you or something?
Yes.
Your brother? Is he doing it on purpose? Oh.
Yeah, possibly. But anyway, so
I miss you, Ali.
Yeah. The next thing is... Oh, you know what I was going to ask you? Remember years and years ago, whenever we hung out, you were always the one that was late? Always?
Oh, come on. No, hold on. You were so late as well.
But something's happened recently that you are no longer that person? So what switched? Like the odds of you becoming late?
I was never that person. And then I got a watch. Oh, I don't have it with me right now, but that would have been cool, but it's not there.
Dude, you can see your watch burn.
I know. See that? Gosh, I hate working in the sun. It really sucks.
You say that because you work in the sun, but for those of us that work in like corporate America, we wish we worked in the sun all day.
All right, go work 2 days straight in the sun in the summer. You'll understand what I'm saying.
I believe you.
So yeah, being punctual is super important, obviously.
Yeah, but I feel like
Obviously.
something happened in your system where it changed.
My system, I don't know. I don't know. I'm more organized with my time. It's all about being time. It's all about time management. Anyways, I want to talk about the new Nexus line. What do you know about it?
I know there's two new Nexus phones coming out this year.
I heard HTC is making them.
Yes, and
Awesome.
I know. One of them looks really. Do you remember what Nexus 4 looked like?
Yes, with the glass back.
Yeah, with the glass bag. So one of them looks like a merger between the Nexus 4 and the Nexus 5. So it looks really cool, but I can never tell because they both have code names, and I can't get the code names straight yet.
So yeah, we can't really. I'm trying to look for the pictures of them, but I don't think there is any.
What's interesting is HTC's business was doing really badly, like really, really badly. So the rumor is that Google paid them like 300 million or something for a multi-year contract to simply build phones for Google. So this is the first Nexus line where it was like demanded by Google as opposed to them bidding on it.
So Google was they actually went to HTC and be like, "You're making us a phone."
Right.
They didn't like have a bid war between companies.
I think that's the first year that there wasn't a bid war, and also it's because HTC's was business doing so badly that the theory is that basically Google saved that business.
HTC?
Yeah, because it was doing.
They make the best like camera phones. Like their cameras are great.
The cameras are okay. But
I had one HTC. The HTC Sensation.
Uh-huh.
I thought the camera was the best I've ever had on there.
But do you realize how long ago that was? How many improvements we've made on our phones?
Honestly, even my Nexus 5 doesn't compare with the camera than that phone had.
I think that's more your memory of what that camera was as opposed to what it is.
No, there's things that it could focus on really tiny things. And with this,
you mean?
Yeah, close-ups, and not just close-ups. It looked clear, it looked more colorful. It was just all around better.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know. Taking a picture of this right now.
I think given the advancements that we've made in cell phone technology and cameras, I'm going to say that's not true, given how old the Sensation was. But, agree to disagree.
Maybe they had the best camera then.
They probably did, because that camera
I'm just excited.
Sold. That phone was sold
like
on the good
I really like HTC's in their look. It's probably going to be metal body, a little heavier, which is fine. Probably still going to have the fingerprint thing.
It will.
And then hopefully the screen is going to be the better kind that doesn't use so much battery.
Well, I mean, the screen that you have on your phone, if I'm not mistaken, that's LCD. The screen that I have on my Nexus, that's AMOLED. Yeah. I don't know.
My Moto X had an AMOLED what?
AMOLED?
AMOLED?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are better because they conserve energy.
Right, but I mean, given how good LCD screens have gone lately, the improvement is not that much.
Okay. When do you think that phone's coming out? Because it's like these two came out like a year and a half ago-ish.
No way.
Really? Yeah. I have had my phone for slightly over a year. I'm pretty sure I got it December 2014.
I feel like that can't be true.
Wait, hold on. Maybe February, actually.
Hold on, I gotta fix my glasses.
It's definitely been over a year.
When was it?
I don't know. It was early 2015, late 2014. Then I bought my Nexus.
September 29, 2015 is when they were announced.
The Nexus 5s?
Yeah, the Nexus 5X and the Nexus 6B was September 29, 2015.
But hold on. Did I get this phone? I'm trying to remember. I thought I had this phone when I went to France.
I don't
last
know if you
year.
Did. When did you go to France?
That means this is less than a year old?
Yeah.
What?
I'm actually considering getting that phone.
Yeah, everybody loves that phone for some reason.
Because it's small and it's plastic, so it's not as fragile as these aluminum phones that everybody thought was going to be better.
It's a good phone.
Why do you hate it?
I don't hate it.
Because of the size.
No, I don't hate it. I think my favorite phone was still the The Moto X first generation.
Yeah. The good old days. And Motorola is doing so badly right now ever since it was sold. Ever since Google sold it away.
Who?
Motorola.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, there's the Moto Z that just came out or something.
Right. Which doesn't have a headphone jack.
Oh yeah, what the? Are the new Nexus gonna have it?
Yeah, I think both of the Nexus phones have headphone jacks.
I hope so.
But I don't think the new iPhone has a headphone jack.
Probably not.
Right.
But again, they're trying to. So how are people gonna do it? Just Bluetooth headphones? That's it?
Well, it's supposed to be either Bluetooth or you go through the Lightning connection, and on Android phones you go through the USB Type-C connection. Well, there is good and bad sides of it. I hear you can get really good quality audio through Lightning and USB Type-C, and you can also power headphones that way, meaning you can get better actual speaker pieces in your headphones.
Yeah, so you can have like they're powered speakers in there.
Correct, which you couldn't do through 3.5 millimeter. But at the same time, 3.5 millimeter is a standard that's been forever, so you shouldn't get rid of it. But that's okay.
Well, I mean, it's always like that. Eventually, like 10 years from now, there's not going to be much of those. But
so going back to the Nexus thing, are you thinking about buying one?
When they come out, yeah, I'm so ready to have a new phone. I guess they're going to come out in September then this year. Probably
announced in September, come out in October.
Yeah, as usual.
October 11th-ish. I don't know. Just a random date that I'm saying. If it's a smaller plastic one and a larger metal one, do you know which one you want?
I don't want a big one. I just want a smaller one. Is fine.
So that's going to be plastic. Are you okay with that?
Plastic? Plastic?
No, plastic.
From HTC?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I think the cheaper one, I think it's going to be plastic again. I think.
Like in the summer, considering I'm outside and stuff, plastic's probably better than metal for heat conduction, keeping my phone cooler.
Right. And the thing with plastic is, I feel like it survives drops better.
Probably. Actually, who knows? Yeah, maybe. I'll probably buy the cover for it.
I'm so sick of having covers. Like I took my case off of my phone for about a week and a half.
So much better.
So much better. But then I have to hold it and cradle it like a baby.
I haven't put my case on there for so long. I have this. All I have is this magnet. I love this magnet.
Right, but the thing is, like here, my magnet is like right there, but it's on my case, so it's not on my phone itself. So I can't do any of the things that I would do with the magnet if I take the case off.
You can also put a magnet on the phone itself, which is what I did.
It makes it look bad.
Whatever. All right, thoughts on Hangouts versus new messaging app.
Right.
What is that new messaging app?
Google has 2 coming out. One of them already came out, and the sister app, it's called Duo and Allo. Duo came out already, and Allo is going to be coming out soon. Basically, and this is one of the things that the Google CEO even hinted at just recently. They have a lot of messaging services, but they're going to try to test out what they can do with Duo and Allo, and he hinted that they're going to put all their resources towards that and see which one succeeds. I think it's going to be Duo and Allo. Duo is getting really good reviews so far, but it is only for video calls.
Is it an improvement on Hangouts then?
It's supposed to be, but it doesn't have all the Hangout features. Like it doesn't have.
Well, they're gonna roll them out one by one. Why is it getting good reviews then if it doesn't have as many features yet?
Like Duo, it's just simply for video calling, so that's all the app does is video calls. But apparently, it makes video calls really easy and really good. So that's why it's getting really good reviews. It's simple. It has a really cool feature that if somebody video calls you, before you pick up the phone, you will see them. Like you will actually see a live video of them before you actually answer the call, which is really cool. I was testing it. And then Allo is Google's new messaging service. Like think of it like Hangouts. Yeah. Which has Google's Assistant AI built into it. So you don't have to search via Google anymore. You can just text Google basically. Okay. And that's coming out this year too. And it's cell phone number based, meaning you don't have to have a Google account to have it. That's why it's going to become really popular. But the odd thing is it's cell phone number based, but it doesn't have text messaging support. Like you can't do SMS with it.
So it's just Google. Like
it's just Google.
Just for people that have Google.
Well, they don't have to have Google. As long as you have a cell phone number, you can sign up for it. Having a Google account.
You just need the app.
Right.
All right. So people with iPhones can use that too.
Correct. And that's why it's probably going to be even better on the iPhones than it is on Android, because that's what Google does with every single one of their apps.
So why did Google do this? Are they trying to gain more importance in the messaging / video call thing? How can they make money through it anyways?
The thing is, like, messaging, it's become this holy grail for the tech industry, because there's WhatsApp, there's Facebook Messenger, there's Google, there's Apple's iMessage. Like, everybody wants to control the market, and everybody wants to do better and better with that market. So like, everybody keeps spending money on it, and that's one of the reasons is, even though Google has so many platforms and it's so popular, there is no way that, sorry, I had to delete a couple of things. There's no way that they can compete. Like, every single one, even Hangouts, which was really great and it's amazing for anybody who has Project Fi, even, it doesn't compete with iMessage. Like, iMessage is so popular and it's used everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what Google wants. Google wants to be able to compete with iMessage, or they want to be able to compete with WhatsApp in Europe, or I forgot what the major one is in Asia. Like, companies are realizing that outside of US, trends are completely different. Like, WhatsApp has taken over in Europe, and the Asia one, I forgot what it's called, but there's another one that's in Asia that has taken over the market, and neither one of them is owned by any of these big companies.
Yeah.
So I'm sad that eventually Hangouts is going to go, because most of everything I do is based on Hangouts.
I'm sorry, Nima. That must really feel hard and difficult. Never been a fan of Hangouts. Never been a fan of it.
I know, because as many times as I tell you to use it, you refuse to use it.
Are we going to end up using the Duo one for this instead of Skype?
I don't know any of the features of Duo, but
is it out yet? Yeah, it's out already.
It's out, but the problem with it is it's only out on phones. Like, there's no program, there's no web version, so we can't do it yet. But eventually, if it does come to web, then my goal is, as long as it doesn't have.
Dude, can you make this happen with with the phone, so that we can just do this anytime we have time, like on your lunch break or when I'm driving?
No.
Why not? That'd be awesome.
I know it would be awesome, but I mean, YouTube has a feature that it's screen capture broadcast on your phone. Mm-hmm. It requires Android phones, so you and I are good. But I don't know what it looks like, and I don't know what it's gonna do. But I know it's really low tech, so its refresh rate's gonna be awful if we're just gonna talk and stuff.
We should do that. We should have a series of, like, we do this using different mediums.
Just to see what it's like.
All going to YouTube. So next time we can try to do a thing, and every month we try it again, see if they improved it.
But I don't even know if the Duo thing works on screen capture, because the thing is, like, all these companies, depending on what their mindset is like and what they're worried about, they might put protections that you can't capture a screen.
Oh, that's annoying.
Like Hangouts, just Hangouts for video calls does have that protection, where if it detects screen capturing softwares, it will just go black, meaning that software can't see anything. Skype doesn't have it. But Hangouts does. So Duo, given that it's made by Hangouts, it might have that problem that as soon as it detects it's being captured, it's not going to send signal.
Well, that sucks, but well.
It's all right. I'm sure they'll think about it, but I know Skype's, given that the core part of Skype's business is the video call feature, they haven't to say they fully support capture of video.
How do you it looks really cool, by the way, what you did there. It's all white. I like the white better.
I was gonna say the white looks better, especially because YouTube's background's white.
Yeah,
it looks better. And there's I did it white when I learned how video compression works, and it just makes it so our computer, or even YouTube's computers, is spending less time processing the whole video. They're just doing the middle part, which makes it a lot easier for them.
I wish there was a way for, like, our screens to be bigger. I really miss that Hangout switching back in automatically. And so when we're able to do that somehow, it'd be awesome if we did.
Right. If you keep watching, I'm gonna switch to you, and this looks good.
I saw it. I saw when it did it with the time thing. It's pretty cool.
No, that was me switching it. That was just me doing it manually.
Did you? I
can do it by switching via time. Like, here, I'll press this and see if it works. Yeah, it's gonna right now for over the next minute and a half. It's gonna switch scenes automatically without me doing anything.
Like every so often.
Yeah, every so often.
It's been doing that, right? Because right now I'm bigger, which is cool. I like
That's me
that,
pushing
but
it manually, and now if you'll see it start switching automatically. Like right now, it's going through the scenes automatically itself.
it was cool when it was like you were talking and then I was talking. I like that.
I know.
So eventually we'll have that going, but this looks really cool. I like how this looks. Let me put it full screen real quick.
Right.
Oh, it's back to.
So all these switching that's happening right now, as you're seeing in a preview, that's all automatic.
With the band, with the Facebook Live thing, I think eventually we're gonna do the broadcast via a computer, and then have different cameras in the room that switches either automatically or having another person then switching back and forth. Like if someone's having a solo, you put the camera on them, and that all live. That would be really cool.
That's super easy. What are you guys gonna broadcast on?
We don't know. I mean, I think Sarah knows some of the details already, but I'm just worrying about the sound on this. But eventually we want to have a multi-camera setup and not just one camera for an hour on top of us, which is already pretty cool on its own because we're talking to the audience and stuff. We're seeing the comments on the big screen TV we have in the room, and then we take the mic and be like, hey, what's up, so-and-so? Here's the next song, and people like that.
Right. So one of the things I think I told you last episode, one of the things you can do is just via Google itself, when you broadcast live through the old events thing, not the Stream Now thing that you and I are using, but through the old system, you can add cameras. Meaning like you have your own camera and then Serb will have its own camera, but they won't be within the same broadcast though.
But that's what we need to do. We need to have our own cameras all connected to the same computer, and then going to the same broadcasting outlet or whatever you call that.
Yeah, that's a problem. I'm sure there is a really easy way, but doing it through the YouTube's built-in thing, it basically says if your audience is, I don't know, John Smith, and John Smith is looking at you and then wants to look at Syrup instead, he has to click on Syrup's broadcast and go to that.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be cool. You mean someone in the audience? Right. I know. Eventually, it'd be cool if we can have people in the audience switch back and forth to the camera they want.
That's built into Google. You can do that with YouTube. That's already built in.
What do you mean? So how does that work?
Each viewer gets to select what view they want to look at.
So let's say you post a video on YouTube. People watching the video have the option to click buttons to get the different views of the different cameras set up for that particular live feed.
Right.
Or feed.
Right. You create an event. Let's say the event is you guys' show on Friday night, and then you add all the cameras you want within that app, within YouTube itself, because you just say add camera, add camera, add camera. Once you have all those settings set up and everything looks good to you, you go live, right? And then the audience member, whoever it is, they can select which camera angle they look at, which camera feed they look at.
And what about the audio? Can that all come from one place? There must be a way to have the audios, instead of coming from each camera, they come from like a mixer.
I think so, but I know by default, I think it's from each camera.
Okay, but do you think there's a way to customize that?
I think so.
That's awesome. Do you think,
especially if all the cameras are hooked up to one computer, then yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Facebook Live is trying to get there? All these companies are trying to do the same thing, making it better and better, more interactive.
I don't know, just because I try to not be involved in Google and Facebook stuff, just because I hate that company so much.
Yeah, I know. I hate them too.
I imagine so. If they're trying to compete, I imagine they would do the same thing. Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if you could do the YouTube thing, and gosh, right now the Facebook Live thing is very limited. Apparently you can go in the background, in the settings and all that, and really customize things. But that's not easy. But apparently on YouTube you can do that, so that's cool. So on YouTube, let's say I have my camera going with my angle, Setup has his, Saro as his, and we're all logged in from our phones or computers to the YouTube page, right?
Okay.
That's how it works?
Basically, how it works is that, basically, what you just described is every person or every feed is added manually. You have to do this all beforehand though. You can't do this while you're live.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you add each feed, and then you say this feed is coming from this camera, or this feed is coming from this URL, all those things. And then once all the feeds are added, then you go live. So you can have this webcam or another person's laptop or another person's iPhone, as long as those, if I'm not mistaken, as long as those are all linked to the one account, if I'm not mistaken, then you should be good to go.
All right, so I'd be creating a YouTube account for the band, let's say, and then every time before we do that, we all log in, make sure we're broadcasting to that account, and then people can go in there and switch from camera to camera. I'm sure there's a way to do that on Facebook too.
Right, but just remember, all that is built within the YouTube events feature, not YouTube's live stream feature. YouTube's event is basically like the graveyard of YouTube, where they send features that they're not going to work on basically ever. So
why?
It's not because Stream Now is more powerful. It gives you, it's a nicer view to begin with. It's easier to handle. So basically, like, that's where Google's Hangouts on Air is being pushed off to events, and they're not going to support it anymore. They're just going to put it in there and it's gone. It's basically, they're killing it off. Wow. And the same with events. Events is where you add the camera thing, but people don't use it anymore. Right. Because everybody's using this easy Stream Now thing.
I just think people are just using Facebook more than YouTube.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true?
No. Oh, well, for live things, probably true.
Yeah.
For live, it's probably true.
So, but for everything else, like researching music or videos, it's definitely YouTube.
It's definitely YouTube.
Yeah, but for live things, the live streaming is like, it's all Facebook, man. I mean, people go on Facebook like mindlessly, throw on their phone just to check what people are doing.
Dude, YouTube is a number 2 used search engine in the world after Google itself.
Yep.
So it's insane. And then on top of that, I was watching a video the other day where the guy was saying there's 500 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. So when you think about how much video there is, it's not even close as far as video content competition between YouTube and anything else that's within the market at all.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh, God, there was something else I was going to... Oh, so, I'm going to rant for like 2 seconds.
Cellphone datas?
Oh, God. So I have Project Fi through Google. Right. Everything about it is amazing. But you select how much data you want to have, and it's the same pretty much with any data carrier. So I have selected 4 gigabytes of data, I think. And I had 2 gigabytes before. I just switched to 4. It is really annoying when you figure out how the internet infrastructure works. When I pay a fee, like charge me $75, charge me anything you want, but I should just have access to internet. It shouldn't be limited. Like it makes no sense why my internet access is limited to data. I don't understand. It's not water. You're not pushing something through the pipe. Just give me access.
I know. I know.
I thought about going back to T-Mobile because T-Mobile used to have unlimited.
Well, yeah, but you have to be grandfathered in for that.
Right. And even their new plan, it's the exact opposite of unlimited. It makes no sense.
I have unlimited, but like this month was crazy. I was looking at my usage. I'm like over 11 gigs, right? Which is a lot because I was, driving in California using the maps here and there. And my phone, my internet, even though it's unlimited,
right,
after like 4 gigs, it gets so freaking slow.
Right.
Why is that?
That's part of T-Mobile's new plans is, unless you were grandfathered in from the old account, then even the latest grandfathers all have a throttle limit that goes after 4 gigs or after a certain amount of gigs. It throttles your speed more and more, which is ridiculous. Even the new plan is even worse than that. But I do have to say, 11 gigs is amateur hour. Dude, I went to Georgia a few years ago, and I came back that month with something like 70 gigs of data used from T-Mobile.
Can't you use Wi-Fi?
I think their Wi-Fi at my parents' house in Georgia.
Did you have to pay?
Really no, I had unlimited.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's weird. Like it shouldn't. It sounds like it's like you were saying. Like you were making the analogy of it's not like a water pathways, but maybe it is.
It's not. but there's no maybe
Doesn't it
about
have
It's not.
doesn't it have to do about server sizes?
Well, that has nothing like for example, like Cox Communication, or even Google through Project Fi. Specifically Google from Project Fi, because Google doesn't own any towers. They're just renting it off of other people.
Right.
But even Cox Communications or Verizon or T-Mobile, there's no servers involved. All the server work is being handled by whoever hosts the data and pushes it through. These cell phone companies, or even these internet companies, they're just pushing that data off from one person to another. Like if the load on those towers is a lot, meaning that if the load gets to the point that users are impacted, it's that company's responsibility to improve that infrastructure or add more towers.
So it is about infrastructure. So it is water pathways.
It's not water pathways, because me using, how should I say it? Like my water usage is not my internet usage is not taking up the whole line. It's not taking up all the bandwidth. Like through, especially Phoenix, because Phoenix is somewhat newer, all the infrastructure that we have, even though it's probably like 10, 15, 20 years old, it's still so much past the regular point of what anybody could possibly use. But they add these lame limits that don't even exist. Like if you lived in BFE,
it's all about money, dude. It's all about money.
Right.
There's greedy people on top making sure they're making a lot of money from those limitations.
Right. Just think
Or
about it.
so I'm assuming.
Dude, so frustrating. So with Cox, we were paying like something like 120 a month to have, back then it was 100 megabytes of speed down, or 150 megabytes of speed down, right? And then overnight, we signed a new contract, and now we have fiber optic cable coming directly into our house, and it went down to $70 a month for 1,000 megabytes, 1 gig of a speed down. Like that's nothing crazy needed to be done. They just updated some cables.
Yeah, I know. That's still updating some cables. Do the fiber optic cables go all the way to your house, or do they go to a box in front of your community and then it's copper from there?
No, it's my house apparently was fiber optic cable. Like most of it is, every company's working on having the best cables out on the streets in general, meaning the regular cables that are coming to all over Phoenix, those are probably the best cables there is. But they stopped basically at your neighborhood, at that box that you're talking about. They stopped there and they become copper. So what Cox did was basically they just put fiber optic from that box to our house.
Oh, so we have did that?
Yeah.
How'd they do that?
It's just they literally send somebody out, connects a cable, drills a hole in your wall, connects a cable, and that's it. But
that means you have fiber optics coming all the way to the front of your house.
Right.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
But Google doesn't do that.
It's not Google that does that.
But I'm saying Google's Project Fi.
Yeah, I know. They're just renting that out.
Not Project Fi. I forgot, what is that name? Google Fiber, the actual internet service.
Oh, okay.
They make sure the city has the proper cables within the city limit itself. Meaning if they have to do hard work, they will install all the cables for the city, the infrastructure. But from the city to your house, they just use coax. They use the same thing. They don't even update the cabling within your house.
Right, which is not good, right?
It's fine. It works the same way. It's the same speed and everything.
So, do you have Google Fiber?
No, I have Cox.
Okay.
Google announced that they might be coming to Tempe, to Arizona, and within a year, Cox was like, "All right, we'll do fiber."
Yeah, dude, we want to get, like at the studio, we want to get better internet.
At the same studio room? That depends on who. Dude, I'm sure at that place, you guys can get fiber.
Well, anyways, I want to call it a day, bro.
Hold on. Don't call it a day yet. Did you watch Coherence?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, you have to watch it. It's really good. It is.
Is it? Where is it on? What is it on? Netflix?
I watched it on Amazon.
Okay. You have to pay for it?
Well, if you have Amazon Prime, then no. Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I do.
Then no.
Cool. I'll watch it for next time.
Damn it. I added it to notes for this time. But you know what? I will remember it for that time. It is really good.
Just leave the note in there for next time.
It is incredibly good.
Like, and no, I do not want to still talk about Trump right now.
Good. I don't either. So I'm going to add it.
He's going to lose now. That's good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if we're done,
I
can do the closing thing. So don't close your call yet because I have to do that closing.
I know, but I want to turn it on so I can hear it because I wasn't.
Well, that will ruin. Okay, that's fine. I'll just turn.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, don't do
Just
it. 'cause that will
I'll
ruin it.
hide the microphone.
Yeah, just leave the nut in there for next time.
Here.
I don't think. Okay, I don't think it works that way, but okay. All right, I'll try it.
I do not want to still talk about
All right, thank you everybody. We appreciate it. Subscribe, do all the things you need to. We appreciate you hanging out, watching.
Thank you very
Really
much.
appreciate it, and have a good day, everybody.
That was my dog. Are we offline? No, I'm not hearing it. What's happening? I hear it. Beautiful. I think you know, I'm way louder than you. You can hear the dog. Are we offline?